We're going to start our discussion looking at this miraculous turning of a cocaine into baking powder. What could have happened in these circumstances? That bring a sense of deja vu. Remember the cocaine that later was tested to be Konkonte in the custody of the police at the police headquarters? Why is that recurring this time? We're told that this time the substance or the exhibit was kept by the judiciary. That notwithstanding, seems like the result is the same. One thing tested, proven from the onset, and then subsequently it becomes something else. Before we go into that, I would like to hear some sound clips in relation to this matter. We've got the Director General of the Police, CID. When the news broke originally, obviously everybody thought it was in the custody of the police. Let's hear him.
The exhibit to the court. The judge examined the exhibit, raised no objection, handed over the exhibit to the defense counsel, who also examined it, satisfied himself that all the seals from the laboratory were intact. He also raised no objection. The accused person herself was given the opportunity to examine the exhibit. She also raised no objection. So the court proceeded to admit the exhibit in evidence. After this, the court ordered the investigator to break open the seal in open court, and this was done. I stress that the seal was broken open on the orders of the judge, and it was done in open court. Thereafter, the court took possession of the exhibit. Where it was kept, we don't know. By whom, we cannot tell. But the fact is that the exhibit was handed over to the court after it had been tendered in evidence with no objection raised.
And that was DCOP Agblor. He's the Director General of the Criminal Investigations Department of the police. In the aftermath of this, obviously the Vice President demanded that the police immediately investigate, and also that was subsequently withdrawn. But in commissioning a forensic lab for the police, this is what the Vice President had to say about the mysterious circumstance.
That are supposed to be strengthened and be able to carry out a job to the satisfaction of the people of Ghana. I mean, I studied chemistry in secondary school, and I don't know by any chemical process through which cocaine can transform into baking soda or baking powder. It must take some human intervention to change a sample of cocaine into baking soda. And it is my expectation that these investigations would uncover what that human intervention was, who were responsible for that, or through whose negligence that occurred. Ghanaians are tired of this kind of thing, and our government is committed to get to the bottom of this matter.
Okay, so that was the Vice President, obviously frustrated by the turn of events. As I'm sure you're aware, there's an investigation that is ongoing. It's a public hearing, a public inquiry set up by the Chief Justice to ascertain what truly happened. But this brings back a sense of deja vu, doesn't it? Cocaine to Konkonte, now cocaine to baking soda. Mr. Jimamenu?
This is mystery. And it's quite unfortunate that we are seeing this sort of situation. I believe we as a country should actually correct certain things after certain events and incidences occur. This is not the first time it has happened. Let me say just about two of them, which were quite conspicuous. The Konkonte saga, and now the sodium bicarbonate issue. Let me practice my lesson chemistry. Sure. I learned from O level, you know. And the whole thing is surrounded with mystery. One, a cocaine case sits in court for 3 years. So where was this person? Apparently on bail or in jail?
Absconded, apparently.
Had absconded.
Broke jail.
Broke jail. And they brought him back after 3 years.
Bail.
Broke bail. Broke bail.
Yeah.
And he came back after 3 years.
Yeah.
So he was sent back to court. The next thing is that this was supposed to be an exhibit certified by the whatever institution that tested it and certified that it was cocaine. According to the DCOP, Ablo, the judge took possession of that cocaine. Wherever he kept it, we don't seem to know yet until...
From what we gather from the inquiry, the clerk says that it was kept in the judge's office, in the cabinet, but he, the clerk, held the key to that cabinet. For 3 good years. Now the question is that who would normally keep...
No.
Yes.
The cocaine was not in the judge's for 3 years.
Exhibit.
The exhibit.
The exhibit,
the
that's what I
exhibit
mean.
was with the police. It only stayed in the judge's office for 1 day.
Okay.
Or 2 days.
That is not the impression that is being created.
Anyway, go ahead.
That is not the impression this UP Ablo is trying to create. Right? If it went back to the police, then I wouldn't even continue with normally you should go to the police. Okay. So somebody takes care of it, an institution. People are in charge to do certain jobs in every institution. And therefore, when we bring it back and we go and test again and it has changed, there should be culprits. Then again, what actually caused the retesting of the substance? It has been tested, tendered in evidence in court, go and keep it. Then mysteriously we go and test it again. What was the motive behind that second testing at the trial? You know, these are all issues that will probably come out after the committee or whatever investigation that is being done. But you see, some of these challenges come. We talk about it so loudly, and nothing seems to happen. And that is what is putting politicians in a very bad, giving us a very bad image in this country. When President Kufuor was there as president, cocaine turned into Kokonte. Then all of a sudden it was President Kufuor, his ministers and his party and the all MPP people were cocaine peddlers, and they were the corrupt people who were dealing with cocaine in this country. So where we should have attacked, we didn't. The institution that should be responsible for this, right? Definitely President Kufuor or his ministers or his party people were not actually keeping the exhibit that turned into Kokonte. So why would we even go to that extent? So instead of we concentrating on getting the institution strengthened, making sure that corporates in there should have been brought out, punished, to try to deter other people from going to do this sort of thing again, we just attack politicians, created a very bad perception of one particular political party. Then it happens again when the tables will have turned. Now that it happened, okay, those people who were shouting Kufuor and his people and that party have now refrained from attacking the president and his party and his people. Now it is the institution. So what type of double standards will this be? And that is where we should draw our attention to. Those of us who, either by way of propaganda or whatever it is like, try to put every single challenge, blame on politicians in this country. I think it is time for us to withdraw from this sort of situation. But I want to assure Alex that the MPP will take a stance. They haven't come out yet. I'm one of them. But the propaganda you used against us with this Kokonte thing will definitely hit back on you too.
So you're also going to say they are what? Oh, cocaine party.
Don't you realize that they always keep on making references to
actually,
this thing had happened earlier, this thing has happened earlier.
Say that also.
So we wouldn't let them go scot-free.
But you were just telling me that that was the wrong approach.
So let us finish the 1-1 draw first before we start looking at things. But that notwithstanding wouldn't mean that Alex and his people who are now responsible for strengthening institutions and making sure that certain things work efficiently wouldn't do so. But I want to assure that propaganda wouldn't stop at all. I mean, they have taught us what we should do, and that's exactly what we are going to do. But it's sad. There are sort of circumstances that are surrounding this sort of issue. It's a problem. I questioned why the retesting, who may have commissioned it, who requested for
my
it,
understanding again
and what
of
was
how
the
it
rationale
done.
behind it.
The defense requested it, and the judge granted, citing a precedent, which again, coming out of the hearings, is turning out to be a wrong precedent.
You see, so these are some of the challenges that we have again. So again, institutions and some individuals within the institution.
You were a former deputy Interior Minister.
Interior.
Typically, where are these exhibits kept?
Honestly, when I joined Interior, they were putting up this new building for NACO, and therefore they have relocated their exhibit room to within the ministry. And there was a problem. I think the Georgina Wood committee thing, when it came, the cocaine apparently was 5 kilos got lost or something. Yeah. You know, but within the ministry, though the premises was in the ministry, well fenced and things like that, it was the police who were handling the vote, the keys to that place. So when the matter happened, you know, we quickly had to find money, push up the NACO place, and where they were going to keep the exhibits. In fact, when I even went there, without the civil engineering eye, I could easily say that, no, this place is not strong enough to keep distance. So they have to strengthen with iron bars and things like that. So they relocated the premises from the Ministry of Interior. I don't know if after the turn of political events, they may have relocated it back into that ministry. But so far as I know, it should be either at the NACOPS at the moment or within the police premises at the moment.
Okay, there was also a law passed, if I remember correctly, or a review of a law that required that once the initial testing had confirmed what substance it was, that the bulk of it be destroyed.
I can't remember exactly which act this is in there.
But was that the rule?
I should think so. You see, after the Georgina Wood Committee thing, there were a lot of hard work recommendations, which I believe were actually implemented. You know, we passed an act that stopped this bail thing within the court system, saying that anybody who is cited for handling or holding or whatever it is like with drugs, right, when you're brought up with the law, there shouldn't be any sort of a bail for you. That was done very quickly, and I'm even surprised that this guy went on bail and jumped bail for 3 years and things like that. Seriously, somebody may have not worked so efficiently with the law, and this may also have actually happened. You know, so there were a lot of reforms within that period, which culminated into trying to see how best these matters of cocaine and things will be actually dealt with seriously to stop the menace in the country. You know, but I wouldn't remember precisely exactly what was actually put in the act.
Let me come to Alex. Kuku Ajimameni says you hit back at them. They're obviously going to do the same to you. But realistically, you're in government. How did this happen? How was this allowed to happen?
Well,